morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you again so much for our time together. Welcome again to Sunset at the Sea of Galilee. I would so look forward to you coming and being with us next year on the tour. Right now, I want us to come back to Mark chapter 6, beginning with verse 30. The apostles gathered around Jesus and reported to him all they had done and taught. Then, because so many people were coming and going, they did not even have a chance to eat, he said to them, "Come away with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." I want you to see how Jesus closes out an assignment, because Jesus is very much about finishing. He said, I come to finish the work that the Father has given me. We have to understand that there needs to come a finishing to every assignment that God gives us. And when we finish, there are some things that we need to do. One, we show our accountability to Christ, the chief shepherd. Verse 31, they reported all they had done, they reported all they had taught. Now, this is something my grandfather taught me, and has helped me all of my life and all of my ministry as a leader in God's house. My grandfather said, "David, people will never hold you accountable. They talk about accountability, but people will never hold you accountable. Denominations will never hold you accountable. Accountability has to be something that flows from your heart." And what Grandpa taught me was this little simple passage, and Grandpa was a great man of prayer. Grandpa said, "Davy," and he always called me Davy, he said, "Davy, when you finish doing something for God, when you finish a weekend, when you finish out a Sunday night, come back and report to Jesus everything you've done and everything you taught." Now, when you begin to do that, you're keeping yourself accountable, and you're remembering that you're not the pastor of the church. Jesus is the pastor of the church. You're just an under shepherd. Jesus is the chief shepherd. It's an attitude about accountability. Now, I would say that that's something that has to be learned in every Christian's life. Whatever Jesus has asked you to do, whether it's sing in the choir, be an usher, be a greeter, work in the kids' church, go help feed the street children, whatever God has asked you to do, when you finish an assignment, you come back to Jesus, he's your boss, and you say, "Jesus, let me report to you everything I've done, and let me report to you everything I've taught other people." It's amazing how doctrines stay straight when you have to come back and tell Jesus your doctrines and not just get people wowed by your doctrines. The second thing is, when you finished, Jesus said, "Now we need a break." He said, "I want you to come away with me. Pull back from the work. Come away with me." You never leave Jesus behind in a time of rest, all right? You don't say, "I'm going on vacation," and leave Jesus behind. Jesus said, "Come away. Pull away from the work. Pull away from the crowds. Pull away from the stress and pressure. Come away with me by yourselves." You will never have a break with relatives and friends and everybody else. Come away with me by yourselves to a quiet place. Now, that's about location. You don't rest in the middle of a mall. You don't rest in a loud, noisy place. You rest in a quiet place. Your soul needs quiet to relax and rest. Come away with me by yourselves to a quiet place. And he said, the purpose, what are you supposed to do? You're just supposed to rest. Now, sometimes that's hard for us. If we're men and women of action, "Okay, Jesus, what you need me to do?" "Nothing, just rest." That's hard to do. It's easy to always be active. But God is not a user. God is a lover. God doesn't take, God gives. God says, "Listen, you have worked so hard. Now, you've reported to me all that you did and taught. Now, come away with me by yourselves to a quiet place, and I want you to get some rest."